Hello everyone, Carson here, and in this video, I'm gonna be solving Wordle number 1231 and New York Times Hard Sudoku for November 1st, 2024. So let's get this video started with Wordle number 1231. I'm gonna start with the word clean. Alright, none of those letters are colored. That means they're gray. So I'm gonna guess another word with 5 new letters. For example, storm. Okay, much better. But still, 3 letters, great. I've placed the S as the first letter, and I also know that T is a letter which goes somewhere else in this word. Now, it could still be a double consonant, SH, SP, or SW being the common ones. Now, where does the T go? Of course, it could be a vowel for the second letter. It could be something like swift. It could be a vowel in the middle surrounded by 2 double consonants. Let's try swift and see what happens. Okay, so both INT are in this word, but incorrectly placed. S, could it be sits up? Is that one word? Unless it's something like 60 or 6. It could be TH ending. SI. Yeah, I feel like it's either 6th or 6T. Well, 6T was one of, well, out of 60 and 60 was the word that I thought of first, so I'm gonna go with my first instinct. No, I've got the 50-50 wrong. It's 6. Alright, got today's Wordle answer in 5 tries. And today marks my 1000th Wordle played. What a milestone. Yeah. 98% win rate, so I should have won at least, I mean, around 980 Wordles. So that means I've only failed less than 20 times, which is a decent result, I would say. Yeah, anyway, in this Wordle, I didn't really use any elimination strategies. I just made my guesses based on the previous clues and from my own deductions. So, yeah, this XTH was, uh, well, I did not think of that, because it's definitely not a combination, right? SI and then XTH. You definitely won't think of that easily. So I feel like it's reasonable to guess it on later, like on the 4th, 5th, or 6th try. So yeah, I'll take it. It's an alright performance, so yeah, I'll take it. Got today's Wordle answer 6th in 5 tries. This is Wordle number 1231. After I'm done with this, let's move on to New York Times Sudoku. Again, today is sorry, stuttered when I'm speaking too fast. Today is November 1st, 2024. I'm gonna start the hard difficulty Sudoku for today. These ones point up to force the digit 1 into this cell in block 2. These 2's force the digit 2 into this cell in block 2. These 2's point left, and these 2's force the digit 2 into one of these 2 cells in block 5. Okay, this 4 points left, and now that I've placed the 2, I can force the digit 4 into column 5 in block 2. So 4's here. With this 4, force the digit 4 into one of these two cells in block 5, and these two cells form a 2-4 pair. As you can see in block 5, the digits 2 and 4 are missing, and these 2's and 4's force both 2 and 4 into these two cells only. So in order to fit both of these two digits into block 5, I have to make these two cells reserved for 2 and 4. The only combinations are 2-4 or 4-2. These two cells have to be reserved for 2 and 4 because these two digits can only go into these two cells. So this 2-4 pair eliminates all other digits from these two cells. Now, this 5 points down, so in block 5, the digit 5 is forced into column 5, because 5 cannot go into the 2-4 pair. Alright, this 2-4 pair not only works for block 5, but it also works for column 4. It's the same logic. In column 4, 2 and 4 are missing, and down here, these two open cells C, 2 and 4. So in order to fit both 2 and 4 into column 4, I have to make these two cells reserved for 2 and 4 because they can only go into these two cells. So this 2-4 pair eliminates all other digits from these two cells, which makes the other two open cells in this column a 3-5 pair. So yeah, this 2-4 pair works for both block 5 and column 4. And in this 3-5 pair, this cell sees a 3, so I can place the 5 and 3 like this. These 3's point up, these 3's point right, and this cell sees another 3, and these 3's force the digit 3 into one of these two cells in block 5. The missing digits of block 8 are 6, 7, and 8, where this cell sees 6 and 7. So I have to make this cell an 8, making the other two cells 6 and 7. This 8 now points up to force the digit 8 into this cell in block 2, and then these 8s point right, where this cell sees another 8. Okay, these 8s force the digit 8 into column 1 in block 7. So all of these 8s force the digit 8 into this cell in block 4. These 6s point left. Now, in row 8, the missing digits are 2, 4, and 5. This cell sees 4, so it's 2, 5. And over here, this cell sees 2, so it's 4, 5. And this is 2, 4, 5. The missing digits of block 2 are 3, 4, and 9. 3, 4, 9. 3, 9 because this cell sees 4, and 3, 4, 9. So this 3, 4, 9 triple eliminates 3 from this cell, because no matter which cell 3 ends up in, this open cell sees all 3 of them. So no matter what, the cell cannot contain a 3, because it sees the 3 from the 3, 5, 9 triple from block 2. So after I've eliminated 3 from this cell, the digit 3 is then forced into this cell in block 5. Okay, in column 6, 9 is a missing digit. So I have to fit 9 somewhere in column 6, but these two open cells see another 9. So these two cells cannot contain 9. So where do I put 9 in this column? The digit 9 is forced into this cell in column 6. Alright. So these 3 cells are for 5, 6, and 7. Okay, I can already tell you that this cell is a 5, based on the uniqueness of Sudoku puzzles, but I'd rather solve it in a more, well, it is logical, because in Sudoku, there's only one solution to every single puzzle. If this cell does not contain a 5, then there would be 2 solutions, because I can go 6, 6, 7, 7, or 7766. Both ways work, if this does not end up a 5. So there would be two solutions, but for every Sudoku puzzle, there's only one solution. So, based on the uniqueness of Sudoku puzzles, I can make the cell a 5. But, of course, if you can find more approachable ways or more logical ways by proving, then that way it's more preferable, right? Um, and you'll get more there's more satisfaction when you solve it in other ways apart. I mean, that are not based on uniqueness. Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, you can use it when you really struggle really badly, but I just prefer doing it in other ways. Okay, but I'm just telling you that if you really get stuck and come across the situation, you can use it. Hmm. I'm actually a bit confused as to where to look at. I might use this bold strategy, but let's keep looking. I can first mark down the missing digits of column 2, I guess. The missing digits of column 2 are 2, 5, 6, and 7. The cell sees 5 and 6, so it's 2 or 7. The cell sees 2, so it's 5, 6, 7. These are 2, 5, 6, 7. These 9s points left, and this cell sees another 9. These 9s points right, and this cell sees another 9. Hmm. Oh, okay, so yeah, it's this cell right here. Did take me some time there. So I'm gonna first mark down all digits 1 through 9 for easier explanation. So let's find out what digits this cell sees. When I mean see, I mean that there's already a certain digit that shares a row, column, or block as this cell. Um, so that this cell cannot contain that digit. There's already a 1 in this column, so this cell cannot contain 1, so it is set to see that digit. So this cell sees 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 7 from this pair. Oh, 6 from this block as well. But yeah. And 8 as well as 9. So the only digit that this cell does not see is 5. And because in Sudoku, we cannot leave cells empty, so I have to fit one digit into every cell. to avoid empty cells, right? We can't have empty cells, so I must fit one digit into every single cell. And if this cell cannot contain 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, and 9, and the 5 is the only possible digit in this cell, well then I must make this cell a 5, because it's to avoid empty cells. No other digit can go into this cell, and only 5 can go into this cell, so I must make this a 5 to avoid empty cells. So after I place this 5, 5s are eliminated from these two cells, forcing 5 into this cell for this row, which makes this 4 and 2 to complete row 8. And then these 5s point up, this cell sees another 5. These 2s force the digit 2 into one of these two cells in block 6, and these 4s force the digit 4 into one of these two cells in block 6. And I now see a mini X-wing formed by the placement of 4 in blocks 5 and 6. So no matter if 4s go like this or in the other way, these open cells in block 4 that are in rows 4 and 5 will see these 4s. So these 5 open cells cannot contain 4, and this also sees another 4. So in block 4, the digit 4 is forced into this cell. So that's how you make use of the mini X-wing. By eliminating 4 from these open cells, because they're guaranteed to see the 4 from blocks 5 and 6, because there's already 4 in rows 4 and 5. So these cells cannot contain another 4. So I can force 4 into the cell in block 4. Or you could have just looked at row 6 and placed for the 4 in this row. 4 is a missing digit of row 6, so I have to put 4 somewhere in this row, but cannot go into the other open cells. All other open cells, apart from this cell in this row, cannot contain a 4. So either by using the mini X-wing, formed by the placement of 4 in blocks 5 and 6, or just by looking at row 6, both of these will have the same outcome of placing a 4 into this cell. So yeah, it depends on which one you see first or which one you prefer to use. But don't worry, because both of them have the same outcome. So yeah, same result. No worries. And then these 4s point up, and this cell sees another 4. Okay, now that I've placed this 4, this one points down and this one points left to force the digit 1 into one of these two cells in block 4. So these two cells form a 1-9 pair. But I'll first say that these ones points right, and this cell sees another 1, so in block 6, the digit 1 is forced into this cell, followed by the 2, which is forced into this cell, in block 6 as well, which makes this 4 and 2 to complete this column. These 4s points right to force the digit 4 into this cell in block 6, which leaves a 6-7 pair in block 6. And now in row 2, okay, well, this is a 5 because of the 6-7 pair, but I wanted to say that this is a 2 for this row, because over here these 3 cells are 4, 5, 6, and 7. But you could have also said that these 2's points left to force the digit 2 into this cell in block 4. Now, in row 6, 5 is a missing digit, so it has to go somewhere, but cannot go into these two cells. So in row 6, the digit 5 is forced into this cell. And I was right about the uniqueness of Sudoku puzzles. This cell did end up being a 5, so if you ever get stuck, feel free to use this this secret technique, or whatever you want to call it. The property of Sudoku puzzles. Yeah, the property of Sudoku puzzles. Yeah, based on the uniqueness of Sudoku puzzles. Some people consider it not being legit, but I I partially disagree, because you do make use of the property of Sudoku puzzles, but I get what they mean. It's not that legit to solve the puzzle in less logical ways. I don't know, but whatever. I'm not gonna judge on people's opinions. So yeah. Alright, now that I've placed this 2 in this cell is eliminated. So I can force the digit 2 into this cell in block 1, followed by the 4, which is forced into this cell. Okay, in row 5, there are 5 open cells left. We have a 1-9 pair as well as a 6-7 pair. So those are 4 digits into the other 4 open cells. So that leaves just 1 open cell not involved in the other pairs in this row. So this cell's a 5. Yeah, it's a 5. And then these 2 cells are for 6 and 7 for this row, but this cell sees another 7. So I can make the 6 and 7, and 6 and 7 are also the missing digits of column 2, but this cell sees a 6, so I can make the 7 and 6 to complete this column. 3, 5, and 9 are the missing digits of block 1, where this cell sees 3 and 5. So this cell is a 9, making the other 2 open cells in this block a 3-5 pair. This 2 points down to force the digit 2 into column 3 in block 7. Might as well mark the 1s as well. Something's wrong. Ah, yes, the 6. So, yeah, 6 in this cell is now eliminated. I can force the digit 6 into this cell in block 7. And then this 1-2 pair makes this cell an 8, and this cell a 1 to complete this column. This is a 9. This cell now sees a 9. So in this 3-4-9 triple, this cell must be a 3, leaving a 4-9 pair behind. This cell now sees a 3, so I can make this 5 and 3. This cell is a 7 to complete this row, which makes this 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, and 7 based on the markings I've done. 1, 2, and 3 are the missing digits of row 7, but this cell sees 1 and 2. So in row 7, the digit 3 is forced into this cell. Well, because this cell cannot contain 1 and 2, so I have to make this cell a 3. And then the digit 3 in block 3 is forced into this cell. And then this cell now sees a 4, so I can make this 9 and 4. This cell is a 9 to complete this row. So these 9s point down to force the digit 9 into this cell in block 9. This cell sees a 2, or actually this cell cannot contain 2 from the very beginning, but anyway. I can make this a 1 and 2 to complete this column, making this a 1. This cell is a 6 to complete this column. This cell now is, well, it sees a 5 from the very beginning. So this cell cannot contain 5, which makes the other cell a 5, this an 8, and the Sudoku puzzle is complete. Alright, I finished today's New York Times Hard Sudoku in 19 minutes and 13 seconds. So I'd say this puzzle is mostly straightforward, but I'll as a quick summary. So I would say the 3-4-9 triple in block 2 definitely helped a bit. So after placing the 1, 2, and 8 in block 2, you get the 3-4-5. You get the 3-4-9 triple in block 2. So that affected this column. There was also the 2-4 pair that works for both block 5 and column 4. So this 2-4 pair applied for both block 5 and column 4. And later on, there was the 5-6-7 triple in block 5. And in row 6, there was also the 5-6-7 triple in this row as well. I mean, later on, which placed this 5. And you could have also used the property of Sudoku, which is the uniqueness of Sudoku puzzles, which made this a 5, but if you don't prefer solving the Sudoku puzzle in that way, I completely understand. you don't have to, because neither did I. So yeah. And I feel like the 6-7 pair in block 8 definitely helped place the single 5 in the cell. In block 9, there was the single 5. Um, it at the intersection of row 7 and column 8, the cell had to be a 5 because no other digit could go into the cell, and we can't leave cells empty in Sudoku, so I had to make this a 5, as it was the only digit that can go into the cell. And towards the end, the mini X-wing formed by the 4 in blocks 5 and 6, so that forced the digit 4 into the cell in block 4, or just by looking at row 6 and placing the 4 in the row. So both the mini X-wing or just by looking at the row will get you the same result of solving a 4 in this cell. So I feel like those were the key spots. Hopefully this video helped. If you have any other questions or difficulties, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. I'll be glad to reply you. Today is November 1st, 2024. In this video, I've solved Wordle number 1231 and today's New York Times hard Sudoku. I'll see you all next time. Bye!